Hello everyone. Today I plan on probably it's going to take one more video, but we're going to be finishing this Python bot. Now, first thing I do want to say is here on to line 134, this is going to be Instagram like by hashtag function. Right over here, when we're trying some stuff, I have been talking with Latin Bomba, and he had a problem with the fact that we're liking 20 photos and then it stops. Well, here at this exception, what you need to do is say driver.findElement. So whenever we're actually catching an exception, it's either because we couldn't find the comment thing over here that we did on comment thing, we couldn't perform the comment, or something happened. What you have to do is just go to the next post. That's pretty much it. That's as simple as that. So what you need to do is say driver.findElement by expat, and I'm gonna say Instagram next button alternative, and I'm just gonna click it, and that's it. Simple. So what we're going to do today is the only part for this script is the following and unfollowing. So for this, I am probably going to give it something like a homework because things are very, very simple and repetitive. So I'm going to show you though. Now I want you, if you went to this part, which is, I don't know, 12 or something like that, I want you to implement follow and unfollow on your own. I'm going to give you hints, of course, and I'm going to give you helping hands. So the first thing that we're going to do is we need to be creating a file here in our script. Why are we actually going to create a file? Now, let's say that I am in Instagram, so this is going to be IG, and let's go down because it's simple. And I'm going into Instagram and I'm having a post. So let's say that I have a post with these arrows over here, and here it is the, oh, actually, I believe it's here. So here is the picture, right? And here we have comment. So it's going to be like this, comment. Here we're having the heart, and here we're having the name. So here we're going to have a name. Now, what we need to do. So first of all, I need to be taking this name. I need to take this name and I need to store it. So I'm going to place this name into a list, and let's say that I'm going to have a file over here. So we're going to say, I don't know, something like available. I'm going to have the name, right? So let's say that the name is going to be iivaylo, going to be my name. And I'm going to take this name. I'm going to take this name and store it right over here on our list. That's it. I want a list with available users, couple of users, let's say user 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're just gonna have users here in available. When we have if I run the user interface, if I have this green, I'm going to go from this list one step at a time, one user at a time, and I'm going to follow them. How are we going to follow them? When we're talking about Instagram, Instagram has URL, and this is how things are working today. You're going to see that we are, actually, I'm going to show you, wait. I'm going to go to Instagram bot, and we're going to go to open browser, I believe, no, Instagram navigation. So here you can see this Instagram URL, https Instagram.com accounts login. If I want to go to my own account, it is going to be https www.instagram.com, and here it's going to be iivaylo and something like this, right? So what you need to do is you need to place this as a variable over here, right? And you're just going to switch the URL based on the name, and then you're going to find the follow button and basically follow them. Very easy. However, I'm not going to leave you hanging because this is not an easy task to do. First, I'm going to do one function. This is going to be creating the file. So this is going to be creating a file for storing usernames. So this is going to be called dev creating files. And here I'm just going to say temp file is going to be equal to open. And what I'm going to be trying to open is available, right? So this is the name that you're going to give. So here we are going to pass this is how you pass a variable. You're just going to say dot format, and I'm going to say users. And here you're going to pass a plus. I'm going to explain why. So whenever we're talking about variables, this thing is how you're going to use. Do you remember when I have been talking 1 minute ago about this one? You have to find out if my Instagram account URL is going to be equal to https instagram.com/accounts// for example. And here I'm just going to say format and my name. Boom, there we go. So that's how you do that, right? That's a hint that I gave you. So this here is the temp file that we are actually going to open. And then, of course, we need to do another. Now, we're going to have two different files. So the first one is going to be available, and then we're going to have the unfollow, because obviously we do not want to follow these people. Here I'm going to have available, and here I'm going to have unfollow. So the unfollow is going to be the accounts that we have already followed. Now keep in mind, available is going to be every single account that we have found during our scavenge, right? And it is in available. Every single account that we have actually followed from available is going to go to the unfollow list, because next time when we are running the user interface with a red mode, unfollow people, it's just going to go to the unfollow list if it has stuff and unfollow them. So I also need to say unfollow temp file is going to be equal to open, and I'm going to label this as unfollow. And here I'm just going to say format. And here you can do really whatever you want. I'm just going to go with users again because it's the same. Users. And again, a plus. So let's talk a little bit about what is it that we're actually doing with a plus, R, and stuff like that. W, and so on. W, read. So we're having a couple of different stuff. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because probably you're going to get lost a little bit. But R stands for read, meaning that I can open this file that I have been talking about. So this user PNG I can open and I can read. If I have W, I can write. So I can just change its value over here. And if I have a plus, this is O, so I can read and I can write it. Now, since we have opened the files, I'm obviously going to be closing them as well. So I don't need them to stay opened, not to lose memory. So that's going to be closed. This is the first thing that I want. So let's go to opening browser. And here I'm just going to say global driver like this. Manage file system. And here I'm just going to say creating files. Good. So creating files, and then I'm going to comment on Instagram navigation. So I'm not going to go anywhere. Now I want you to look at this Python for YouTube bot here, right? I want you to look at it, and I want to start the user interface and take a look at this and how this is going to change. This tree over here, take a look at it, and let's see if it's going to change. So I'm just going to connect here. Open the browser, no Instagram navigation, and boom. Do you notice the difference? So these two things over here are new. These are what we opened. So we have opened unfollow users and available users. So we have these files over here. So it's working. Now I'm going to delete them because every single time that we're going to start, we're just going to create them. Of course, if you do not delete them, as you can see, keep in mind, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. Now I'm going to start, connect, and we have 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 more, as we expected. And if I now close this, I have not deleted them. I'm going to close the bot. I'm going to start again. You can see that we're having no problems. It's not going to create them again or not. Pretty much the runtime, what it does is it's deleting them and it's creating them without you seeing it, but it doesn't matter. We do not have anything. Good. So delete this, delete this. Actually, it depends on the runtime system. I think that in Python here, it's not going to delete them. It's just going to see, okay, I have that. I'm not going to create it. I'm just going to try to open it, and then I'm going to try to close it. But if it doesn't exist, I'm going to create it with the open function. Good. So that's pretty much it. Let's talk a little bit more. So let's just remove this comment over here. Let's talk a little bit more about your subject. What you are going to be required to do. So what you're going to be required to do, and I'm going to give you, again, I'm going to be here with you, right? I want you to write the following. So the first function should be reading all the users in the follow list. So this should be called something like get read users to unfollow, right? So I'm going to, of course, write what this function does, and I'm just going to say something like, I don't know, return 0. Yeah, I'm going to write it like that. So get read users to unfollow. What is this supposed to do? Now, let's figure out that, okay, give me 1 second because I need to run the user interface. I want these stuff to be appearing. Syntax error. Yeah, this is because this function is, okay, let's go again. Oh, it's actually throwing a syntax error. Okay, where is the problem, sir? Clear exit, clear. And now can I run it? Good. Connect. And here we have available and unfollow. Now we can close everything and we can go to the Instagram bot PI. Good. The first function that you need to do is to say get read followed list. So what this function should do is, boom. And sadly I had problems currently. Good. Reading all the user that should be unfollowed. This is what your function should be doing. So what does this mean? Get read followed list. All right. So sorry, the name was a bit wrong. So get read users to unfollow. Reading all the users that should be unfollowed. This means that I should be going to this temp file over here. So I should be heading to unfollow users, and I should be storing this as an array. Let's say that in unfollow users, I have myself, and I have, I don't know, bot 1, bot 2, bot 3. All of these people should be stored into an array, and I should be just returning this array because I need to know all of the people that should be unfollowed. That's pretty much it. So that's for this function. The next function is, of course, once you actually get a name, for example, me, you need to go to this particular set. So you need to go to this specific user, right? Because obviously you want to follow him or unfollow him. So this is going to be go to user. And here we're going to say user. Here we're just going to be passing the username. Now I already did this, but I'm going to give you a hint. This is how you go to a specific user. You're going to say driver get instagram.com/ and here you're going to do a variable format with the user. Of course, be sure that you're going to wait. So that's going to be time, right? You remember what we did. This is going to be the time sleep, random randint. You want to unfollow him, wait 10 seconds around. Yeah. All right, I'm going to write this for you. So I'm just going to say random.randint, randint 510, and then I'm going to do the same for this one. Okay, so you go to user. I'm going to write this function because I think this is a bit more specific and it would be a bit more difficult for you. So there you go. This is how you go to this specific user. Now you need to find the users from the unfollow user list or first for the available and store them into a list, pass the list here and obviously go. So you need to have a list, iterate through the list, get each and every single user as a string, and here you can format it. Good. Get read users to unfollow means that I want all of these unfollow users. What you're going to do is you're going to, I think it's going to be good for us to write something together, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. I might show you one. Yeah. All right. Let's go with one together. I'm gonna write one together because I think that you need to see the ideas first. Good. So here I'm going to say lists, and I'm going to say to unfollow list is going to be equal to an empty array, right? To an empty list. So here to unfollow list is empty. Currently, we do not have anyone to unfollow because unfollow users is empty. We have not followed anyone. But let's say that my unfollowing users are 4. So bot 1, 2, 3, and let's say me. Now, in order for me to populate this, I'm first going to say global to unfollow list, right? I want to say global to unfollow list because this is going to be used by other functions as well. We have been talking about this. And now I want to obtain previously followed usernames from file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say with open, and I'm going to be opening, you guessed it, unfollow. Here I'm going to do this format. You remember that thing, uses. And now I want to say, okay, how am I actually going to open it? I'm going to open it with read plus modifier. Oops, read plus. And when I'm saying with, I need to open it as something. So I'm just going to say as unfollow list. And here I'm going to do a couple of stuff. So now we have actually opened the file and I can do stuff with it, right? So this is opened as unfollow list. Now I can do unfollow list dot stuff. So currently I'm going to take each and every single line. So let's say that I want to take the first line. That's me. And I'm going to say lines are going to be equal to unfollow list dot read lines. As you can see over here, we're going to be reading everything, right? So we're just going to be reading completely everything, not just read line. We're going to be reading lines. So we're going to have all of these 4. Now I do have this as an array, right? But the final thing for me is to put it into an array. So I want to put it over here into this list. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to say for line in lines. Now I'm saying for, I can even say user in user lines, right? Now I'm going to collect, again, unfollow list read lines read absolutely everything that I have in this file. So as you can see, I have absolutely everything over here. Now I'm going to be reading the lines. So I'm going to have in user lines, let's say count 4 or 5. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to have these. And now I can iterate through them and I can store the names. So I can say to unfollow list dot append. And what I can append is the line that I actually took. I'm going to say user dot strip. Strip is going to remove the unnecessary stuff after. So here now, you're going to see that in unfollow list, I actually have this, and this. And now when I say, let's say I want to go to the specific users that I want to unfollow, I can say, okay, for each and every one, let's go over here. I'm going to show you this. So I can say for user in to unfollow list, I can say go to user, and this is the way I'm actually going to iterate through it and go to each and every single user that you're actually seeing here. I'm going to pass as a first parameter myself. Then I'm going to go instagram.com myself here. And I'm just going to, you're going to see me going into a profile that belongs to the specific person. So that's pretty much it. What you need to do now is obviously do a couple of things. And the first one is populate this to unfollow users. You have to populate it on your own. Again, you're going to be using stuff like this. And I want when you're going to the Instagram and you're starting to like stuff, take the name. I want you to take the name using the XPath. So this is going to be name, right? So you're going to be taking it by XPath. And you're going to say string. I want the string because the name, you cannot just take the name, right? It is somewhere in the DOM tree as an XPath. You're just going to take it and you're going to store it into unfollow users. And finally, you're going to say get read users to unfollow. And you're going to say, I actually wrote it for you, but doesn't matter. Go to user here, go to user, and of course we wanted the for loop. So this is going to be for user in unfollow list. Go to user. That's what you're going to do. And you're actually going to see your results. All right. Well, if you have any questions, leave them down below. And I really do hope you do this on your own because this is the only way that you're going to learn. You need to do it. So yeah, good luck and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.